Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Smith and I am a third degree brown belt in Isshinryu karate. In this video, I'm going to be discussing for street self-defense purposes or for sport fighting purposes, defending against the rear naked and or true sleeper submissions, in particular in a street self-defense situation where you just about anything can defend yourself. All right, so of course, everybody knows a couple of simple things to do that's watched mixed martial arts for a while. Either somebody talked about it live while the event was happening, or maybe if you have some martial arts experience, you've already been taught a little bit. But so of course, the rear naked choke, they come from behind and they've got you with their radius into your trachea and esophagus. All right, and it's a lot like the sleeper hold. They tie it in with their arm behind your head and restrict your breathing with the radius of their arm for the most part. As soon as you realize someone's attempting to put a rear naked choke or sleeper hold on yourself, um, uh, you need to tuck your chin as close to your chest as you can get, and if possible, turn your neck and your chin into um, the arm that's attacking you, that's wrapping around, all right, like that. This way, if it's a true sleeper hold, it's impossible for him to hit both of your carotid arteries at the same time, all right? So he can't actually get it all the way on you. And you're turned into it. And same thing with the rear naked choke. If you're turned into it, he can't get it all the way on. So keep your chin as close to your chest as you can and turn your head to the side if you can. All right. That's the first two things you need to do. Because it's a lot easier to get out of it if they never got it all the way on you in the first place. Correct? So, in other words, if you know it's coming, get your chin tucked low and turn to the side so they cannot get it all the way on. All right. Next step is depends on if you're already on the ground, you're going to need some Gracie Jiu-Jitsu style Brazilian martial arts, which I'll get to in a little while. But if you're still standing and they're or on your knees even, and they're trying to get the real sleeper or the rear naked choke on you, then and let's say this is the arm that they're grabbing you with, you're going to take and grab their gi or shirt if it's a street self-defense situation, and grab it with your free arm as much as possible. And again, your head is turned into the direction they're coming from, and you're going to with both of your arms. But you're going to get one arm on their attacking arm. If my right arm is the attacking arm, you're going to get one arm here, so you can try to keep some pressure off of your throat. Your free arm, which will probably be your right arm, will grab hold of their gi or shirt if they're wearing one, assuming it's a self-defense scenario. If it's sport fighting, they no longer wear gis in the cage. So then it's a little bit tougher to do what I'm about to demonstrate. But eventually, your head is tucked, your chin is tucked, your head is turned sideways so they can't get it all the way on you. You're going to grab and you're going to throw them over your shoulder, and you're going to bend your knees at first, and then you're going to pop up your knees and your butt as you pull down your upper body and throw them over your shoulder. That should break the lock 9 times out of 10. If it doesn't, you're going to go rolling on the ground with them. So just be aware, if it does not break the lock, you're going to end up on the ground with them. But if it does break the lock, they're going to end up smashing their face, or if they know a few break falls, they'll end up rolling and probably sitting on their butt on the concrete. In which case, you can kick them in the back of the head, or throw some punches. Or if they're on their back right here, you probably got hold of one of their arms, and you can throw punches, rain down punches of whichever hand you're not holding theirs with, and finish them off either that way or the other way. If you're sport fighting, it's going to be pretty hard to execute that throw, but it's generally the best thing if you're still on your feet. If you're no longer on your feet, then it becomes more problematic, and you'll have to use some Japanese and Brazilian jiu-jitsu techniques to, first of all, get your hands between his hands and yourself, perhaps. Like you want to hold one of your hands to keep his hand from getting any tighter. You want to get one of your hands up in here somewhere, either here or here, just to keep his grip from getting any tighter. You want to get your other hand in there also to try to break that grip. And if you're still on your knees, even it's possible to throw the person over your body from your own knees. That concrete is about 150 degrees. That's uncomfortable. All right. It's possible to throw the person over your shoulder anyway, even on your knees. All right. What if you're the one who wants to put a rear naked choke or sleeper on somebody? So one thing with the sleeper, it only takes about 10 or 11 seconds to put out 99% of victims. All right. So you got this classic almost figure four shape that you're going to put on the person, but you're going to you're actually squeezing with your biceps and the radius of your own arm on their carotid arteries, which also run right next to the jugular veins. So you're basically catching both carotid arteries and both jugular veins, and you're pressurizing the veins, not the trachea. The advantage of this is that it cuts off blood flow to the brain instantly, and the person passes out in about 10 or 11 seconds unless they somehow got out of it that fast. It's been demonstrated that you cannot hold your breath against a real sleeper, and someone as common as a medical doctor can put a Marine Special Forces or Army or Navy SEALs Special Forces member out like that in 10 or 11 seconds, and it doesn't matter how much you can hold your breath. Unless you somehow throw the person off of you, you're going out. So there are ways to even speed it up and make sure the person doesn't have a chance to throw you off. For example, when you go for the rear naked choke, or the sleeper, don't actually jump on the person's back and ride their back. Instead, when you get it on them, you start shouting at them, down, down, and you step back and drag them back as you crank downward with your rear naked choke or sleeper. And so they're going to fall off balance like this and fall backwards. And you tell them, sleep, sleep, down, down. Just yell in their ear and demoralize them for 10 seconds. All right. As you continue to drag them backwards so they don't have a chance to get their footing. In WWE, because it's show, anytime somebody does do the real sleeper or rear naked choke on somebody, they tend to ride their back, and they tend to get thrown by the ropes or thrown over the ropes or thrown across the ring after a few seconds, because it's not the real sleeper, even though it looks like the real sleeper. It's just an exhibition match at best. So, WWE isn't real. The fights are scripted and choreographed, and they know who's going to win the fight as much as 30 days ahead of time sometimes. They know who's going to win the Royal Rumble 2 or 3 months ahead of time, most of the time, because they've already written it up. It's like, okay, this Royal Rumble, it's going to come down to Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. So how are we going to script everybody else getting defeated? So they knew that was going to happen ahead of time, months ahead of time. They already know who the last 2 or 3 people in the ring are right to begin with, and everybody else is just added as a spectacle to keep the thing interesting. So the sleeper hold and the rear naked choke and whatnot on WWE is faked. They usually don't even do the real thing because they don't want kids knowing how to do it. And all right, so I think that I'm going to go ahead and finish this video, but I think I've made my point of both how to apply it and get it on them permanently, and also how to get out of it once it's on you, or before it gets all the way on you anyway. If you let it get all the way on you, you could be in real trouble because, like I said, with the sleeper hold, you've only got 10 or 11 seconds and you're going night-night. All right, thank you very much for watching.